It's recording now, so great. So we will. Oh, that's Amber. Karen's going to try to get in, so that's okay. So we can get started, and she can grab her seat soon once she can figure out how to log in. So welcome everybody to this is our second ever Blindness Awareness Blab. And I love the name Blab because I feel like I'm blabbing all the time about everything. So it's a great platform. And I think it really helps to be able to have a visual too, especially for today, that you can hold up some of the things we're going to talk about to the camera, which could get interesting too, trying to put it into a screen, but whatever. We're all, people with kids. That's why we're here, or we know kids. So it's all good. It's all as professional as we can possibly be. So I'm Kristen Smedley. For those that don't know me, I have 3 kids total. 2 of them happen to be blind. My boys are 15 and 12. So my holiday shopping might look a little different from other people's holiday shopping. So we're going to kind of take a big look at all of this. I do have some of my 12-year-old's favorite things that have either been adapted or are regular toys, and some we've gotten from Braille type places. And we're just going to have a conversation today about things that our kids are interested in, great resources where you can find other things. And my guests today have some wonderful products that they've adapted themselves to make them accessible for their kids. So how about if I just, I see Karen tuning in. On here too, and we'll have the whole powwows here. Here she comes up on everybody's screen. I got to get this other box out of here. I don't have a visual, but Karen, can you hear us? Oh, and while she's trying to get in, see those little hands at the bottom of the screen of your video screen? That's like giving props, and you're like, wow, what's up? So you can, if you click on them, then you get all these cheers. Just keep going, whatever. Okay, so how about if you guys...
Hey! I'm here! My hair looks so bad.
Huh? I have to watch my lighting on this side of my room because it shows all of my frizzy hair. Oh, look, you've got the dog with you. You're perfect timing. You're absolutely perfect timing because we were just about to introduce all the guests. So let's start with the partners up there.
I'm still trying to send you up computer, but totally given up yet.
Amber, how about you introduce yourself first?
My name is Amber Bobnar, and I run the wonderbaby.org website, and I am sharing a screen with Hillary because I can't get my computer to log in. But luckily we're in the same room, and we have a table here just full of toys that we're ready to share throughout the Blab.
Fantastic.
And I'm Hillary Kleck of Sensory Sun, and it's sensorysun.org. And I have a daughter, Madeline, who's 10 now, who was born blind with bilateral aneuphonia. And my background is in engineering. So I homeschooled Madeline for about 2.5 or 3 years before we moved to Massachusetts. So I have a lot to share of just how we adapted things from an educational and therapeutic side to make things more interesting and fun and engaging.
Fantastic. And I've typed in your websites while you were talking, so just make sure I did them right.
Yeah, looks good.
I'm so glad you guys are here. Okay, Karen.
Hi there. Hi from York in the UK. It's amazing. I've never done this before. So I'm one of the co-founders of Toy Like Me. And I was on radio this morning in York, actually, talking about the things that we're doing with the Lego ideas, trying to get Lego to wake up and smell the coffee. So that was good this morning. I also am part of a group updating the RNIB toy guide. So my word, there's so many toy guides on at the moment. Hillary, you'll do fantastic. Amber, you'll do great. It's so good to see. So yeah, I'm really steeped in toys at the moment. And I used to work for Ragdoll Children's TV, the Teletubbies. Mm-hmm. So I used to hang out with the Tubbies. And I have a son, Fred, who's 5. He's visually impaired.
Terrific. I'm so glad you guys are all joining us. Karen, is it toylikeme.org?
It's not a website. It's just Facebook.
It's just Facebook. Okay.
Just Facebook. Yeah, just Facebook. We've not got that far yet. We're using social media in that way.
Isn't it funny now how you can get so far with?
It's the hashtag. Hashtag toy like me.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
On Twitter, yeah.
So Karen, since you're just jumping on, I was going through some of the housekeeping of Blab, and I love that you said that you've never done this before, because most people on here have never been on a Blab because it's so new. That's what's so cool. So we're all learning. So if you are you on a what kind of computer are you watching on? Are you participating?
I'm on my big laptop.
Oh, good. So am I. So on the right hand side of your screen, do you see all the boxes of people that are on?
Yeah, I can see. Oh yeah, I can.
You can type all the websites that we talked about. And I know it's going to be kind of tricky while you're talking and typing, so we'll just try to type as people are talking. And then I've got a lot of the links from you guys already. I'll be tweeting out and Facebooking out all these different links and the things we talked about over the next couple of days, so we don't inundate everybody. And I'll tag all of your Facebook pages and Twitter handles so that all of your followers can follow it too. And then we'll see how it goes. If this goes too long, we can break it up and do a follow-up next week if we need to. Mm-hmm. But let's just dive right in. So here's my thinking of this. There's all the different age groups, for the most part. But I'm thinking maybe if we could, we definitely want to get to Karen's mission with this Lego thing, because we have a Lego addict in my house, as many houses do. So we want to make sure we talk about that. And I think lots of folks, probably with the younger kids, are the ones that need the most direction at this point, just because, like once I had Michael and learned all of it, then Mitchell kind of came along, and even though his interests were a little different, I had a little bit of direction for that. So how about if we start with what is a really good resource for the, birth to 3, even into the preschool, some ideas for that age group?
Well, do you want to talk about your toy guide?
Sure. We have Sensory Sun just published the 2015 All Play Accessible Toy Guide. Right now, there's links on our Facebook and website at sensorysun.org. And it's published through issuu.com. And it's kind of like just a magazine publication that you can flip through. It's all digital. And there are a lot of toys in there for younger kids, especially. A lot of sound toys, a lot of toys to help with therapy. We have a whole page of just tummy time products and things that we came across when my daughter was younger, and as well as obviously a lot of new toys since then that have a lot of sound and interaction, a lot of sensory, even a lot of contrasting colors. And so you can click directly through there or Amazon, wherever, to find each of those toys.
What did you say? It was www.issuu.com. Okay. Terrific. So I just added that link. That's an awesome resource.
There's also Toys R Us puts out, is it every year? Mm-hmm. A toys for kids who are differently abled. Is that what they call it? And they have a nice list. And they divide it out by visual, sensory, different tactile. So you can kind of look at their icons and pick out the things that you're interested in. And then obviously they link right through to Toys R Us, and you can just purchase through Toys R Us. So those are 2 really good resources, I think, for looking for toys for young kids. I could also say Wonder Baby has a bunch of lists and guides for like toys for blind babies, toys for young kids. If you just go to Wonder Baby, there's a toy section, and you'll see all of my guides and lists there, which I would add the link, but I can't because I'm not on my computer. But I can do it after.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah,
and I've got
really
in there.
I really like the really trying to keep to mainstream toys, because you get specialist toys that are so expensive, but there's just so many out there. So I remember when I was first diagnosed, I sort of wandered into a post-diagnosis haze to the RNIB, and they had a little toy brochure, and it was like my little Bible. And this is the one that we're updating. It's like 6 years on. It's 6 years old, so I feel very proud to be able to do that. But it's because there's so much out there. I think it's great to give parents pointers, and it is a little different. My oldest child is sighted, and so the things that didn't work for Fred worked for her. So it's just about those basic rules, isn't it? And then trying to find them in the busy shops.
Mm-hmm. I'm a big believer in going with the mainstream toys because A, they're affordable.
Yeah.
You can find them, on the shelf in a store or on Amazon, just about anywhere. They're really accessible in terms of just, being able to purchase them. And then also a lot of these toys, they're not designed for our kids, but they work or they can be modified in pretty simple ways. And I brought a bunch of toys with me that I'd modified, so we can talk about that later. But when Ivan was born, when he was a baby, my thought was, he's a blind baby. I need to find toys for a blind baby. And I ended up going to places that sold, therapy toys and specialty toys. And it's crazy the amount of money that you'll spend on some of this stuff. I remember finding this texture blocks, and each block had a different texture, and then it matched into a puzzle that had the matching texture. And I paid almost $100 for this because it was a specialty toy made for kids who are blind, right? And as a mom, I felt like it's so important for me to go out and get that special thing for my kid because, he needs this in order to develop. And then lo and behold, you find toys with blocks with textures on Amazon and at Target, and because all kids like textures, and it's like $17, $18.
Yeah. How old is Ivan?
He's 10 now.
Yeah, see, when Michael's going to be 16, and when he was, 16, 15 years ago, I was having the same problem trying to glue textures on, and then by the time Mitch came along, Melissa and Doug, that toy group came out with a bunch of the texture, and I was like, oh, why didn't I say something to them, I could have been whatever, but all those things I never thought of that I should have thought of. Yeah, but you're right. It does get expensive. Actually, one of the things that I have is my sample, not to jump into the older age group, but the Monopoly game. My Mitchell is obsessed with Monopoly. And when he was obsessed with Scrabble, we saw the little Braille tags on there, and we were able to make that adaptable really simply. I mean, it took me all of Christmas vacation to be able to stick all the stuff on. And when it came time for Monopoly, it was just, we were constantly reading in the title cards. Then my mom found the adapted Monopoly. Mm-hmm. When I found out that she paid $85 for it, I almost fell over. But I will say that it is the golden toy in our house. I mean, it sits up on its own shelf. No one's allowed to be near the box, unsupervised,
Yeah, right.
But that was one of those things. She loved giving that as a gift because the whole family can sit, even though I despise that game. We can all sit and go through the grueling pain of watching Mitchell demolish us in Monopoly. But you're right. Some of the cost of these things is just astronomical. So the mainstream, plus I like the mainstream stuff because that's what all the other kids in the play groups and all that know, and they're familiar with. Although I will say there is an element to some of those novel things if it's something different they haven't seen before. So that's fun too. But so also, I should say that all the folks that are in, I think they call it in the room. I still don't know the lingo of Blab, but everybody who's watching, you can type in a question for the guest in that message box. And then, if you have a question about where to get something, or if you have a specific need, your child is looking for something specific, you can type that in and we can see if we can guide folks. Mm-hmm. So how about, well, why don't you guys start sharing some of those toys that you did adapt? Because I think that's such a cool concept.
Okay. Can I grab some stuff? Let me see. Hold on.
One of the things while Amber's doing that, I have my Mitchell's. Oh, didn't I bring it in here? I'll have to find it when she starts. She's also obsessed with Hess trucks. I think it might be an East Coast thing. I'm not sure, but the Hess gas company comes out with a truck every year, and they light up and they make sounds, and he's 12 and a half and still obsessed with these things. So I'll grab one in a minute. Oh, good. Somebody put the link for Toys R Us. Great. Thank you for doing that.
I'm gonna see if I can.
Let's see, I can still try to log in.
Does that show up? Yay! Look, I added a link.
Oh, perfect. Boy, we're so good at this already.
So these are some toys that I have adapted for Ivan, and so I'll just dive into this. So, like, for example, this is your regular, what do they call this? Ocean drum.
Ocean drum, yeah.
And I was playing with this with Ivan, and he was flipping it over, right? And he was really having a fun time flipping it over. But I noticed that without vision, both sides feel exactly the same, because one side has the ocean drum and then the other side was just white plastic. And it occurred to me that especially as a baby, especially as a baby, he wasn't really aware of the fact that he had turned it over because he couldn't tell the difference. So what I did on this side was I just put a big piece of felt and glued it on. And then we could talk about the back and the front and turning it over and direction, which is also, if you think about it, kind of an early literacy thing, you know, about like the front of the book, the back of the book, and just kind of getting those concepts. So it's a really simple thing. You wouldn't necessarily think of it as an adaptation, but it makes it so that he can interact with that toy better. And then
Awesome.
This is one of our favorite books. It's just Polar Bear, What Do You Hear? But it's the sound version.
I never saw that.
I know.
Look, I'm getting so excited. Sorry, go on.
That's amazing.
We love the sound version of books just in general, right? Because then as you're reading the book, it says, you know, I hear a lion roaring in my ear, and then when you do the lion, you can actually hear the lion. And then you add Braille to it, and you've got a fully accessible book, right?
Wow, that's fantastic. So is that just off the typical shelf now?
This is Amazon. Yeah.
Amazon.
And then Braille label maker.
We have a similar one for the Rod Campbell book, you know, with the animals going to the zoo book. It's fantastic, isn't it? But I haven't brailled it yet.
And adding the sound element to it, I mean, Ivan loves books with sound. He'll listen to you read a book, but if there's some sort of interactive element and then he can get the sound, he's much more likely to be interested and stick around for the whole story. This is one of his favorite toys from when he was a baby. He actually still loves it. And it is Winnie the Pooh. I don't know if you can hear that.
You can hear it.
It plays music. And all I did was I added Braille because it's just supposed to be a telephone, right? And it has really nice soft music. Each of these buttons has a voice of one of the different Winnie the Pooh characters. But because they're numbered, 1, 2, 3, I just put on the Braille numbers, and now it's a fully accessible toy. The other thing that I do to almost all of our toys is, you see the speaker has tape over it, because for some reason toys are incredibly loud.
No, right?
And I think that, maybe this is just for me and my kid, but Ivan is very sensitive to loud sounds. And I think that that's probably true for a lot of kids who are blind. So almost all of our toys that have a speaker have a little bit of tape over the speaker.
That's a brilliant idea in and of itself. Tape over the speaker. I love it. And you know what's funny? All kids love phones. What is that? I have 2 blind, 1-sighted. And the boys would play with the Barbie phone. Like, it didn't even matter what kind of phone it was. They played with all that stuff.
Right.
Can I just ask you for 1 sec, Amber? The Braille you put on it, was that like clear sticky paper that you ran through a Perkins, or did you have a labeler?
It was the first. It was a Perkins, and it was just like labeling paper that I got off of Amazon. Sticky.
Okay.
So I have 2 more. No, 3 more.
Perfect.
I don't want to take up the whole thing. So this is actually a wooden puzzle that a friend of ours made for Ivan. And Ivan actually doesn't have any vision, but when he was a baby, I didn't know that. And one thing that I noticed is that when you took there's a nice contrast here, right? The dark wood versus the light wood. But when you took the dark wood puzzle out, the light wood inside made it so you really couldn't see where the space was to put it back in. So I took red paper and put red paper at the bottom of each of these holes. Just the thought that for a kid with some vision who's trying to use that vision could then have more of a high contrast when they're putting their puzzle together. And that's true even for like a Melissa and Doug type puzzle. A lot of times the inside of the puzzle, you know, where the puzzle piece goes is the same color, and they can't really see it if they have low vision. So that it's really easy to just, you use the piece to trace out a piece of paper and then glue it to the bottom, and just then you have a high contrast puzzle.
That's fantastic. I did that one time with a wide Sharpie too. I colored in the bottom. I like the idea of the paper in there though.
Doesn't take as much time.
Yep. Wish I would have thought of that. And I think I probably went through 2 Sharpies with a couple of puzzles I did, and then everything smelled like a Sharpie in my kitchen. Yeah.
So this is another baby toy that Ivan actually still really loves. Let's see if it'll work. So there's balls, and you can get these different roll arounds. This is by Fisher Price. This is called the gumball machine by Fisher Price. And the balls come with all kinds of different things in them, and they make ones that are specifically for sound, so that each one makes a different sound. And then you press the button, and when you press the button, the ball comes out the bottom, and then you have to put it back on the top. So it's, you know, I mean, there's not much to this toy. The problem for Ivan is that he has low muscle tone. So it was really difficult for him to find and press this button. So what I did is I took a block from a wooden block set and a rubber band and attached it, so that now there's a much bigger thing for him to be looking for. And it's a lot easier for him with this low tone to press it. And there, and it plays music. So, and that is, you know, like, that took me 2 seconds, right? But it's so much easier for him to use it now.
That's fantastic.
And then I have
It's the little things, isn't it? It's the very little things that we do that make our toys so accessible.
You're right. You're so right. Oh my gosh, the keyboard.
Casio $50. Everybody has one, right? Plays different tones and songs and things. So what I wanted to be able to do with this is I wanted Ivan to be able to sit on the floor and put this over his lap like a tray. So what I did was,
Cool.
Oh my God.
this is a Parmesan container, Velcro, and then Velcro, and now it has legs, and it fits perfectly over his lap.
That's perfect, isn't it?
And then I guess this isn't really an adaptation. I guess it's sort of an adaptation, but this has also been a toy forever. This is
Yeah, you
the
had that.
Was
You
that
had that.
is that a tabletop?
yeah. So it comes with legs, but the legs are so big and close together you can't really sit under it, you know. So it's actually designed, I think, more for like a toddler who's standing. But what I did with it was I took the legs off entirely, and then now I put it on the table, and then on the floor I put a yoga mat, and I use it as an incentive for Ivan to do standing, independent standing, which is something with his low tone is really difficult for him. But since he loves the toy so much, and he'll do reaching and he'll play with it, he won't even notice that he's doing his standing for the day.
That my Michael, when he was a baby, he had that, but he was such a big baby. He's so skinny now. It's so funny. He was so big that he would pull up on that and lean on it, and it would end up, he'd push it across the room and fall. So we always had those up against the wall, but he would stand and play so long he would fall asleep. He loved to stand. I don't get it. Not my second one, man. He's a sitter. He's still a sitter.
It's not on. Yeah.
That's fantastic. I'm gonna show my kids that keyboard with the things underneath, because you know what they're gonna tell me? They want to be able to sit in bed with a keyboard. That's what they're all gonna want now. We're gonna be sticking. I bet you can do it with tennis ball cans too.
Yeah, it might be taller.
Yeah, for my guys that are a little taller. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. That is just fantastic. Oh my gosh, thanks for putting in. I see all the links there, Hillary. That's awesome.
It's
Wow.
I'm looking to see if there's any questions. I just got to figure out how to scroll down I haven't figured all this stuff out, how to scroll down. So if there were questions up at the top and I missed them, just type them in again. I'll notice them. I was so fixated on the toys, I forget I'm supposed to be managing a whole screen here. My ADD is going wild with Blab. Good stuff, though. Okay, so adapt. Anyone else have stuff on adapting stuff that you've done, adapting the toys at home, the mainstream?
I wanted to ask how big your material sacks are, because I end up keeping lots of differently sort of textured material, so I've got this crazy sack of stuff, which is good. It really comes in handy a lot of time, to adapt books. I can remember I was really upset because of all the books that we had and they weren't tactile, and so I ended up, the first thing I did was getting a glue gun and making them tactile myself. And my biggest pet hate was having a circle of fur to denote a polar bear, and it's like, no, we need the whole shape. So I've got some books to show you after.
Oh, show them now.
That are not adapted, that we actually did a new one. So I've got that to share.
Do you have the books with you right now?
I have a book now. Do you want to show?
Yeah, let's see it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're here.
When I was really fed up at the amount of books that we could find that weren't very good and that weren't, that's not my puppy, and it just makes you want to go, there's no story, is there at all? So I wrote to the Book Trust in the UK and said, where are the books? Where are the books? And they said, guess what? There aren't many. We have a budget and we'd like you to help us make a new book with Fred as a researcher. So we made this one. Oh, it's Off to the Park. And so it actually has a real story. And so what we did is that we kept going backwards and forwards. So the proofs, Fred would feel the proofs. So this is a tactile path. And when you open it, it's got Braille letters. And it's got, so you can tie your lace. And you can, these are the bumpies. Do you have bumps before you have a crossing in the US? Yeah. And do you have the spinny thing underneath with your crossings? Does that look quite different to you?
No.
These are our sort of pelican crossings. Yeah. So we actually made a book that you can really buy that has an actual story about going to the park with the gates and the rough twig with the Braille numbers up there. And the bouncy ball.
Nice.
And the shiny chains and the rubbery seat.
Wow.
And the shininess of the slide and the rubberiness of the swing that you have. And this is a smelly part as well. So I wish you had smelly vision because it smells like strawberry ice cream and it's lovely. So we were really proud of this book, and you can go around on the back and retell the story. And this was our sort of first way of getting involved in making positive change for children who want to read, who just can't see very well or at all. So, and they invited Fred to the launch, and it was so sweet because he was up in the VIP there. So, and the lady that helped me did this is doing a campaign called Everybody In. That's hashtag Everybody In. So Alex, I'd like to promote that because we're doing another one of these books called Off to the Beach. And it seems simple. Why weren't these books made before? It's a no-brainer. It's a story, it's tactile, it's lovely.
Well, and also that is a book that would be fun for any kid.
Yeah.
Exactly. Tactile books don't have to end when you're one.
Right.
That's the hardest thing.
So I also see that as a really cool way before a young blind child goes to the park, because you know how you have to do all that. I can remember sitting on Mitchell's with his tactile felt board thing when we would go to the professional hockey games, the baseball games, and we would build the whole what the field is that they're playing on. So that's a great thing before they even go to the park to know, because Mitch was very, I think because he had hearing issues too, he was very, he didn't like the surprises of he walked past a swing and didn't know what that was kind of thing, and the slide and trying to understand it, So that is fantastic before they even go, and all the kids, pretty much everybody's going to a park of some sort or a playground at their school, and I love it. So where can you get that on Amazon?
I just put up.
Yes, you can get that on Amazon, and you can, if you look at inclusiveminds.org, there was a whole list of books. Child's Play is just a fantastic publisher. So yeah, you can. I don't know if you can get it from Amazon.com, but definitely .co.uk.
That
Yeah,
is,
Inclusive Minds.
no
It's .org actually. .org. InclusiveMinds.org.
So we started a Braille collection in the children's section of our local library, and now it's going out through our whole county.
Wow.
In early next year. But these are the kinds of things, and I have a private high school nearby that is adapting all the regular kids books with putting Braille overlays and stuff. But these are the kinds of things I would love to add to the collection, that it's the entire sensory experience. So we'll look at that and get that into our collection here. That's fantastic. Because some of those ones that we get, I mean, we've had wonderful resources here, but some of them, like I remember Mitchell was obsessed with this one with Bumpy. It was a ball that was rolling out of the house and down the hill and all. And I was like, what else? It's a ball rolling into the street. It was not real, I don't know, going on there. But that's an awesome thing.
Or
do you have another one there?
There are other textured books that are like, the chick is fuzzy, the lamb is furry, and every single texture is the same.
Yeah.
Like, okay, like the pictures are different. I see that. But as far as my kid who's touching them, every page feels the same.
Right. Hence the need for your big bag of materials to do that. And also we find imagery in books as well. There's hardly any images of blind kids or wheelchair users in books. So this is another book, Max the Champion, that Alex, the lady from Inclusive Minds, has helped write. So it's got fantastic, and it's sporty. It's got fantastic images. Let me find a better one.
Mm-hmm.
As you go through the book, and it's a really active book, and the characters just happen to be wheelchair users, and they're in very positive imagery, and they're doing great stuff. So this is probably one of the most inclusive books in terms of imagery that you can probably get. So this is a nice one, and you can get that from Amazon as well. The girl here's got a patch, we've got glasses, we've got wheelchairs. Yeah, so that's nice. That's Max the Champion. It's a really nice active book, positive book.
That's fantastic.
We like books. Shall I just do one last book just to show this? The summer we have a thing called a reading challenge, and all the children are really encouraged to read 6 books over the summer period. And they had given us a big sticker, sticker for Fred, so he could put his stickers on. But I said, so where are the books? And they said, oh, we haven't got any large print books for him. We just got the big stickers. Like, okay. So we found these books that are available from Access to Books, and that Access then are 2 books. And these are great because these are brailled. They're brailled at the bottom, but they're also in 75 print. So, if you've got some sight, then Fred can read this. And they're just beautiful. So we're looking with our local libraries at the moment, and they're going to buy a set of these books. There's about 60 for York. So Fred will be able to go into his local library and get a book off the shelf like any other guy. And that's what I like. But these are great. And Eileen Finch, the woman that runs this, is visually impaired herself. So she's been gradually going blind. And as a grandparent, she wanted to read to her grandchildren. And that's another angle. We don't think about grandparents who've got vision issues. They can't read the small print, but they could read this.
Right.
So these are great. So I just wanted to put a shout out to Access Books.
We've got in our group of LCA families, our Jean has LCA and the later onset RP, and I just had, it was last week or the week before, one of the families, it's a young dad who's losing his vision to CRB1 LCA, and his wife emailed me and said, we just had a moment. They have a little boy that I think is almost 2, and he had a moment that morning where he can't see the print in the books anymore, and their son wanted him to be able to read, and it was just one of those moments, So So I said, let me see what I can figure out. That book is perfect. It's absolutely perfect because it's big enough. He'll be able to see that. And
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Will totally enjoy.
And so easy, simple.
I just shared a link to an article that Karen helped me together. It's 27 or 25 plus children's books featuring visually impaired characters.
How many are there?
I found 25 plus, and I said plus because I knew as soon as I posted this, people were going to start sending me more, and I'm glad I did because I think we're up to like 31 now.
Was that just
really?
last week?
Yeah, it was just a week or two ago. I
can't remember seeing that. I've been in a fog with Thanksgiving, and I was writing my first ever grant. I thought I feel like I had a fourth child trying to write a grant and come up with smart words, but. Yeah, I remember seeing, I have to look at that whole thing. I can't believe, I remember seeing the number and I thought, what, that many? And people are sending you more?
Yeah, so it's interesting too, because I knew that, once you post something like that, you always say, and if you know of any, let me know, and people will send you their favorites. But then I've also had, like a TVI in the UK who wrote a book about a kid who's blind. And so she sent that to me, or another older woman who's blind and wrote a book with a blind character. And she sent that to me. And an orientation and mobility instructor in the US who wrote a book. I like hers. It's, let me see, I can get the name of it here so I can give her a shout out. It's Sarah, Misty, and Scribble's Journey to the House by the Sea by Jacqueline Johnson. And I'll post that link to that book too.
Okay.
A story about these stuffed animals, and each stuffed animal has a different eye condition. Like one, its eyes have been all scratched up so it can see but not see well. One of them's missing an eye, and by having the stuffed animals have the different visual impairments, she kind of describes what that visual impairment would be like for a child, but it's in the version of these stuffed animals, and they go on a journey and they help each other. And she's an orientation ability instructor, so obviously they, independently travel to that.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to see that one. That sounds awesome. So, and then are these books available in Braille too?
So what I did with my list is whenever I could find that the book was available in Braille, I posted where it was available in the US, where it was available in the UK, and if it was available in audio or Braille. So not all of them have all four, but wherever I could find that they were available in different places or in different formats, I put that in there.
That's fantastic. I love it.
I've got about 5 minutes before I need to dive off and go swimming with my dog. just to warn you.
About your Lego thing so that we get that in before you have to go.
Oh God, yeah, Lego. Yeah, it's a Lego day today. Well, you know all about the Toy Like Me campaign, yeah? The at Toy Like Me, hashtag Toy Like Me. And the start of it, we ended up getting Playmobil on board really early on, and their characters are now in development. So there's going to be a set of Playmobil characters that have got different disabilities. But also what I really like is the fact that...
Sorry. Can you just back up and give like a 1-minute synopsis of Toy Like Me? In case
Toy Like Me. Okay, Toy Like Me is a campaign started by myself and my friend Rebecca, who's a mummy friend of mine who happens to have a vision impairment as well. And we noticed that there are no real toys that represented people like our children. I've got a guide dog from the Guide Dog Association, which is lovely. But, that's not fair. It's not very inclusive. What does it say to our children when they're not included in Playmobil characters, dolls, or Lego? So we started putting together some customized toys. We made over existing toys. So Rebecca made a fantastic Tinkerbell with a cochlear implant. So if you go on the Toy Like Me site, there's some wonderful images of the dolls and the Lego and the Playmobil and the teddy bears that both we have made over, but everybody has started to send in their made over toys as well. And it got really successful. We had some 3D dolls made. A company called Mackie.com made some dolls, a visually impaired doll, a doll with a facial birthmark. And this was going good, really going good. Playmobil signed up, and they said, yeah, fantastic. We're going to make a community set, but also we're going to have children with disabilities randomly pop up in families, because, hey, that's how it happens. So we said, yeah, and they're going to deliver a percentage of their profits to a charity of our choice. So I think we're going to set up a Toy Like Me trust to help with the expense of toys for other families. But Lego have been silent, not a peep. So, and they're obviously the biggest toy manufacturer in the world, aren't they? And so they haven't been. So we set up a petition, nothing. So we've gone through their Lego ideas route. So if you have a fantastic Lego idea, you can put it on their site and it gets agreed, and you have to have 10,000 votes for it to be taken to the next stage. So Rebecca did a fantastic advent calendar. So we have 24 images coming over the next month. And these are going to be obviously released daily. And if we get 10,000 votes as soon as possible, then it has to get taken to the next stage. And then Lego have to talk to us so we can have a dialogue with them about their woeful inclusive culture in their world of bricks. So we're quite excited about it. But it's a slog. It really is a slog. They just, yeah. So and 10,000 votes, they don't make it that easy. We have, Toy Like Me has 30,000 people or in 45 different countries signed up. We have a lot of people, but they have to go into Lego ideas, create a little account, and then press support. It takes less than 5 minutes, but that 5 minutes is, people want to like and go. So we're really having a big push over the next 20 days, because although we have a year to do this, nobody is going to be voting for Santa in a wheelchair in March, are they really? So our Wands and Wheels project, we're just going to push it over the next month.
Put the link in there. So
I put the link in? Yeah. Oh, you put the link in? Oh,
yeah.
That's fantastic. Thank you. Vote, please. Yeah.
Also, while you wanted to share the picture of the...
Oh, that's fantastic. That's Tinkerbell with a cochlear implant.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Rebecca is a very talented journalist and artist. So she's done so many of these makeovers herself. And so many have been sent in as well, especially teddy bears with tubies. The Wheezy Pals has been really, really successful. And parents want them. We keep getting emails daily. Where can I buy the Tinkerbell with a cochlear implant? Where can I buy this? And we don't make them. So there is a need, but it's niche, isn't it? So, so we're going to just promote that. So get prepared to get bored of us going, Lego ideas, vote, please now.
I also put in a link. We have a change.org petitioning Lego to change. It's a lot easier to sign a petition on change.org than it is to sign up for the Lego idea. So I put in both the links. However, I think if you go in and do the vote for the Lego idea, that's going to have much more of an impact because that's through Lego's platform. And they say on there, if you get 10,000 votes, like, we promise to talk to you and take this seriously.
They have to. Yeah, they may not do it. They might think of some idea, but it's such a simple idea. It's a simple thing. It will be very low cost.
It's at 2,293.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you. It's gone up a couple of hundred. We have found that the change.org people really push the numbers up. They're people that sign up to things. So when change.org in the UK sent the email out about the Lego ideas, we went up 1,000. So, so we've got high hopes for your one in the US.
Yeah, I hope so.
So what's up to 2,000? The petition?
No, not the petition's at 271. The Lego ideas is at 2,293. And obviously the petition, we don't really have like a cap on that. The more we get, the better. But for the Lego ideas, we really do want to get that 10,000 mark. So it's getting there. 2,293 is good. But Karen was saying we want to get that before Christmas, right?
So tonight or tomorrow morning, I'll have my Mitchell, who's my Lego obsessed guy, and he's very good with the camera, make a little video. Awesome. And what we'll do is get that out on Instagram, is where all the friends of his are that are playing with Lego. Get all those kids and families involved. We'll use our Bite the Basin and our Caring About Blindness Foundation because it's so many families. And I'm sure all the folks that are here, I think that if we warn folks that it's going to take a minute or two and it's worth every second of that's a little easier too. But yeah, we'll jump in and get that. It's at 2,000 something now.
2,200.
We can do this.
Totally.
And we're on Instagram too. Toy Like Me are on Instagram too. So we have an Instagram somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm going to go on and follow it now.
Yeah, try and follow us. That'd be fantastic. Ladies, I've got to love and leave you.
Thank you so much for being with us. This is
No,
great.
thank you. Can we do this again?
Yes, please. Let's do. I was trying to do a monthly one, and I think actually I've gotten so much feedback on different topics people want to chat about. I have people that aren't even in the blindness community that are on Blab and love this whole idea and getting to know our community, which I found great. So we'll definitely.
Can I just show my daughter what it looks like? Do you mind? I know it won't be very interesting. I'll just grab a Fred, Eva, Eva. Come and have a look. Come and have a look. Eva, quick.
I call this the Brady Bunch screen. It reminds me of Brady Bunch. You're like looking up and down at everybody.
Sit down here. Look, these are my friends. Please say hi.
Hello.
Hi. Do you want to go get Fred?
See the books that you got.
Fred, come and have a look. Well, I'm going to say goodbye now. Okay, we're going to say goodbye.
We'll do it again, and then they can see again.
We'll do it again. Okay, say goodbye. Bye. Oh, is Fred coming? Fred, come and have a look. Come and have a look down here. You see, these people are my friends, and they're in America. Look, you see? Hey, Fred, you see them on there? Yeah. Yay, hey. Yeah, you say hello to Amber and Kirsten and Hillary. There you go. You can see yourself on the telly. Can you see yourself on the telly?
Fred, you are right now.
All right, I'm up swimming.
Have
Say
fun.
goodbye. Goodbye. See you later. See you later. Should I just press the cross?
Yeah.
Should I just press the cross?
Yep, go ahead.
Is that it? Bye.
Bye. There we go.
Perfect. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that those books are out there, and I seriously just got that message from the family with RP that they were having such a moment not being able to read to their sighted little guys. That's going to be perfect. I'm so excited to send that to them. Okay, so we talked about the adapting stuff and some great links of where to get stuff, and we only have about 7 more minutes because I didn't want this to go past 12:30, and then I have another call. But I've also, what's that?
Hillary has a bunch of stuff to share.
Awesome. I'm just trying to fix my screen because I look blue. I don't know why I'm not in white light. I'm in blue light. I'm next to my window. Okay, go ahead, Hillary. Huh?
Yeah, I have a couple of things for some older kids. It's a simple game called Shut the Box, and we discovered it in Maine actually on summer vacation at some restaurant or something. But it's real simple. So all we did to adapt it was add tactile dice and added Braille numbers and with little labels. And so it's kind of an addition game with some strategy, and it's great because it's all contained inside the box. Of course, you can take the dice out, but so you flip down and share it, so you can move it around the table. So a lot of times, I know with our daughter, it's trying to play a family game and moving the board around, especially with something like Scrabble we've tried, and everything goes everywhere and stuff like that. So it's a great, just kind of self-contained game that's great for older kids and the entire family.
Wait, look what I had it on my list to show. My kids were crazy for this.
It's simple, and it's just a real quick game. Great for just.
It was actually very big for sighted, blind, everybody. It was like that. It was one of the hottest toys, I think, just maybe 2 years ago in the Parents Guide. Yeah, we love playing that game.
We just found it on vacation at some restaurant that we were just hanging out at, and so my mom went and bought like one for everyone.
Good old moms.
So with the tactile dice, it's just really simple and cheap. The other thing that my daughter loves is Uno Roboto, because we all love Uno, right? So Uno Roboto, and he's this cute little guy, and he talks to you, and you keep the cards in the top. And all I did was add Braille to the cards with the number or the message with the color, which is real simple to do with Perkins Braille. It takes a little bit, but
you can buy them pre-brailled, and they're not too expensive. I can share that link too.
Yeah, they're usually about $12. I think,
yeah,
on Amazon.
It's not too bad.
But I have noticed a trick that I'm going to share with the Braille cards, if you do the numbers, and depending on who is using, like my daughter, it's really easy for her to have one number instead of having both sides. But if you do both sides, then they definitely stack much better. I've discovered. So she has a lot of fine motor.
Both sides.
Right. So instead of just rolling one side, which would be simpler, if you do one on each end, then they don't fall over as easily because we're just constantly like sliding around. So that's just a little hint trick that's helpful. And again, for kids of all ages, and easily made accessible. And she really likes that it's the electronic and makes sound as well because he says funny little things and likes that.
Hi, are you ready for some Uno Rosato style? Let's play. Hold down the red button and speak into the mic.
So she loves that she gets to record her name, and then you can even do like it does certain things. It changes it up a little bit, so you can give someone it's like give Hillary a nickname, and so you get to choose that and do something silly and fun. So
I'm adding it to my family's list for Christmas. They are gonna love it. I didn't realize it did all that.
Yeah, it's great.
They love to put their own names in everything.
Right, yes. So it's a lot of fun, a lot of interactive. And one more little thing that's great for the holidays. Hallmark has a lot of the interactive storybooks. I just brought the book for this one, but he also comes with the little dog plush who listens as you read, and he does, and also comes with a CD. His name is Jingle, and he's a little puppy dog. And so you read along, which you can add Braille. And then as you read, he responds to some of the text. Let me see if I can get up. So what's in red, he responds to, and they have some for, I think there's a little Abigail girl rabbit that does the same thing, and they have a lot, but the interactive, my daughter loves so much, and with technology the prices are going down so much on this kind of stuff that is really great. We also have Cloud Pets and some other storybooks that Hallmark does. If you want to, the Hallmark's a great place to look at, and anyone who carries Hallmark stuff that for those interactive books, especially around the holidays. Yeah. And then here's the Cloud Pet, which we moved to Massachusetts away from all our family and friends. So Madeline's grandparents got her this little Cloud Pet, and they can send messages back and forth. And it goes through your iPhone app or Android app, whatever you have. And you can send voice recordings. And it's all through the parent's phone, of course. There is a little spot for kids that is accessible with voiceover, but it's a great sound interactive toy, and it's really soft, like Amber said, and really easy to use.
What's his name again?
He's a Cloud Pet, and there's different ones. He's the teddy bear, but and they're on Amazon as well.
Yeah. So just so you know, Kristen, as she's talking, I'm putting in the links.
Oh, thank you. I'm mesmerized by this because I'm also thinking that. So do you each have to have one of those, or just the child has one and you have an app?
And whoever wants to send messages, and it's all approved for their parents' account, you download the app and send it all through the app.
So that's cool for parents that travel too for work. Oh, I love it.
And I think we'll see a lot more of this type of toy coming out in the next couple of years. There's a Smart Bear toy that's a lot of interactive stuff that I think is going to be great. And then I have just a couple of texture toys that are great for babies all the way up to older kids that are working on different skills. And one is the Teaching Touchables that has the different things that you match up, all different textures. Teaching Touchables. So it's real cheap, and it's easy to make those yourself as well if you just want to go to the hobby store.
It is, but you could also just buy it.
Yeah. Which is definitely great. And then there's along the same lines, which Madeline got for her birthday, is Ruff's house. And we have a dog named Ruff, that's even better.
I got this, Madeline. I got this for her birthday.
and you reach in, and he has different bones with different textures, and there's 2 of each. So you can match up, and there's a little Ruff puppy. So it was great because Our dog's name is Ruff.
So all those pieces have a texture to it?
Yes, they're all different, and there's tons in here.
And you match them.
So there's some that are soft and some that are like a rubber.
I love that there's a matching element to it, because I feel like when Michael was little, the stuff, you just pulled the stuff out and I don't know what you were going to do with it, but there wasn't anything else you did.
Kind of what I try to do with a lot of Madeline's toys is to, because she has all the therapies, speech, occupational therapy, and all of that. And so we use that really as, it's fun, but it's also, and even to get down and play with her, she can do it by herself. But, trying to match them up and put them in the same spot and be organized in where they are is a big thing for her. So these are great for just, incorporating into other activities as well.
Fantastic.
And then we have texture dominoes, which are along the same sort, and they're just wooden and they're already ready to go. Again, you can make your own, but these come from Guide Craft, I believe, which has a lot of great wooden, simple texture toys.
$21.95. So you could make it yourself, or you could just buy it for $20.
Unless you.
That's a good solid toy too.
Yeah.
It even adds up to just go to Michael's and buy all that stuff as well.
That's true.
Yeah.
And so they have other ones too, little matching shapes, which obviously those don't match, but you get the idea. Little shapes, and then you find the puzzles, but they're great individual. It's not like a big board where you're trying to search through different things. We'll get out just a few to match for Madeline, and they come in a nice little bag for her to, feel great introduction to tactile graphics and objects as well. Kind of have the combination of them in that. And then real fast, we have Bop It Beats, which Bop It is awesome. Of course, everyone Bop It. But Bop It Beats is completely ready to go, accessible, and has a lot of music. It doesn't have an off button, so I won't push it.
That one too.
So Madeline loves this, and it's a little bit more to it, and it has an individual game and then a party game where you can play with multiple people. So they're a lot of fun.
So I haven't seen that Bop It. Is that their newest one?
We've had it for a year or two. It's called Bop It. Yeah, Bop It Beats.
Wow.
It's hard. I mean, I know they
We
have
have the other one that Amber showed, and Mitchell is he holds the record in all of his friends for. He's crazy with that game.
Yeah, so it does. It's like a little DJ. You spin this, and then you bop it on the end. You flip it over. It's all sorts of different things. Forward, reverse. So it's great for kids who love music.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, and the thing that I like about it is Ivan is cognitively impaired, so the game part is really hard for him. And if you play the regular Bop It, I'm not even on the screen. If you play the regular Bop It, if you make a mistake, he's like, oh, because you messed up, right? But on the Bop It Beats, it has a setting where it's just free play. Mm-hmm. And so you can just make it make noise, and it plays like a, what song does it play?
It plays a few different ones.
Yeah.
They're more of like a pop rap almost.
Yeah. And then he can just be like the DJ and make the sounds. And I like that you can't lose in that setting, so you don't have the guy constantly telling you, oh, you messed up, and he can just play. So that's why
I'd be crazy, because I'm the one that always messes up.
If we have some time, I have a couple of toys I'd like to share.
Yes, go for it.
So I brought this because this is one of our favorites. This is called a body sock.
A body sock.
Have you seen these?
No.
So what you do is it looks tiny, but it's made out of like a really stretchy Lycra, and the front here is a Velcro closure. So my son is 70 pounds. He can fit his entire body in this, and then it Velcro shut, and then you just roll around in it, and it's like a full body sensory pressure type thing. So a lot of times when he's at that point where he's kind of having a meltdown and he's not really into doing anything, you put him in the body sock and it'll totally change his attitude, because he gets that deep pressure through his whole body, and he is totally in charge of it. It's not like he has to rely on somebody else to be giving him a deep pressure massage or to be doing the brushing or anything like that on him. He gets to do it himself. And one time we did put him in it with the cat, and that was kind of funny.
Oh my God.
And then I have a ton of stuff here. I don't have to bring it all out. But another thing he really likes is anything that is made out of this kind of squishy.
Oh my God, Mitchell hates that stuff. It's so funny. He can't take it, but he tries, and then he laughs, and he just can't take it.
Well, they also make different things. Like this is a bracelet.
Oh my God.
And Ivan just loves this kind of stuff.
My daughter antagonizes Mitchell with those things. She'll go, I'm going to go get that ball.
Yeah.
You know? Oh my God, that's so funny.
And anything that vibrates. So, what are these called? We have a ton of these. They're by Little Tykes. And they come in different animals. And you press it and he vibrates. And then plays a song. And they have a bee and a ladybug, and we have the lamb. And it's also something that's, it's a simple, it's a baby toy. It is a cause and effect, but it's also not that hard to press. So a child with low tone or with, not sensory, but like fine motor issues, still make this work. And he's so proud of himself that he can make that work himself. And then toys that talk.
Leapfrog is great.
Leapfrog is great. And this is the Scout. He comes with a series of books. You could braille the books and you turn them on. You pick the book you want to read. So we chose book number 1, and then he reads the book to you. And he also does things like if you press this part, he says moi.
You're so nice.
And so Ivan loves it because there are all of these, the back, if you press on the back, he says something. If you press on his cheek, he says something. If you press on his head, he says something. Both of his paws. And Ivan just loves how interactive it is that he can make it do all of that talking on his own. So those are just some of his.
What was he called?
That's Scout.
And he reads the book?
Yeah, so it comes with 5 books. They're, simple board books. I'll find him on Amazon and post the link. What is he called? Scout.
That's going to be great for that family I was talking about, too. Because that's what they were asking about the leapfrog stuff. But the leapfrog stuff is tough because you have to be able to find the print and run the pen over.
It's Leapfrog, Read With Me, Scout.
Oh, look at that. See, they must have listened to feedback about that because now this is so much easier for them to use.
Yes.
Leapfrog.
What you can do with what we did with some of the Leapfrog books with the Leap Reader pen and also the maps is use the clear sticker paper with the brailler, and you can add, and it'll read through. It doesn't mess up the pen and that connectivity. So you can make tactile. We even use tactile stickers and put in the different spots so she could feel where the sticker is and then touch the pen too.
That's a great idea.
And it sticks on pretty well. And it's just, so if you have sticker paper and a Perkins brailler, we've tested it out on the maps and the books, and it still works even through the clear sticker paper.
I'm surprised. That's awesome. Okay. Do you have more stuff, Amber?
I do, but I did my favorite stuff.
Yeah, it's way past 12:30. But so here's what I think we should do is maybe do another one of the next age groups. And maybe a big thing that I get all the time is, what tech toys that my boys use and how do they use them and stuff like that. So maybe we do another one with, the next age group, some apps and some tech stuff in there, going on with some of these books too, which was fantastic. But I can't believe all of I thought I would be like, showing some stuff and giving some of my expertise and kind of, and then everybody else sharing to help other people out. And you should see I have all these Post-it notes all over the place, all around. I'm like, I have to call that family for that. This is my Christmas list over here. This is fantastic. I'm so glad you guys took the time to do this. And it was so thought out and have all the stuff to show too. Because I'm one of those people that I need the link and then I need to know what it looked like when I'm looking for it. It's perfect. So I so appreciate you guys doing this today and for teaming up at the same computer.
What computer is working?
So I'll make sure. So like I said, this is recorded. So I'll send, I think as soon as I hit stop, I can send the link out. And then we'll just, if we share it through all of our networks, then everyone can have access to this. And then I'll also tweet, and I'm looking at my screen, tweet and Facebook the links, and then you guys, and I'll tag you guys and you can share them too. And I think that's going to give folks a really good, it was such great different variety of things too. So I think it's awesome. So thank you so much. And thanks to everybody that's in the room. It looks like there were 49 people taking a look at this. So it's so exciting that this is so brand new with a great platform. And if you have ideas for these kinds of things to add in, we're looking to open it up in the rare disease community too, to be able to connect folks with resources, but especially in the blind community. It was so great that we're across the ocean too with getting Karen in to have, put a face to some folks and get resources out there. So I appreciate it. But thank you all for comments and questions and all that kind of stuff. And thank you, ladies, for being with us.
Thank you.
On the next Blab. Bye.
Bye.